morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Marek Hornak. I'm Head of Employer Partnerships and Enterprise. And today I will be your presenter. For those who had a chance to join some of our previous webinars this week, on Monday, we officially launched the Innovation Enterprise Zone. We had presentations on our Incubator Accelerator. We presented the Advanced Manufacturing and Prototyping Project and opportunities in digital innovation. It's part of the Global Entrepreneurship Week, which university celebrates along with the Enterprise Zone. But today I will present the last of the webinars this week on Intelligent Mobility Innovation Accelerator and some other funds that are available to you as a company in partnership with the Staffordshire University. So taking us through the agenda, so I will take you through the Staffordshire University business engagement. Why do we do it? I will give you overview of the Innovation Enterprise Zone, and then the main topic of the day is intelligent mobility. What is it? What are the opportunities, and what do we have on offer for our SMEs in Staffordshire and also beyond? If you're not an SME or you're not in Staffordshire, I will touch on some national innovation funding and also dedicated support for the business startups and our Unitems team at the university. So why university engages with businesses? Our role as anchor employer in Staffordshire and the region and beyond, because we also have campuses in London and Shrewsbury, we work with companies to improve competitiveness, productivity. We want to help you to develop new products and services. We have significant resource at the university that we make available to you as a business. It's part of our mission to create high growth companies. It's our mission to help you to be more productive. And with the expertise in the likes of engineering and so on, we are dedicated to create the platform and infrastructure that creates high growth environment for businesses to flourish, really. So we've heard about Innovation Enterprise Zone earlier this week. To give you some overview again, Innovation Enterprise Zone is an umbrella. It's something that the university won as part of the recent England University Enterprise Zones. There's only 20 that's been awarded in the country, and it's an investment which companies can benefit from through access likes of the incubation units, the startup hatchery pods. We have a number of dedicated programs for supporting SMEs, startups. We invested heavily as a university and through our funding partners in dedicated prototyping and innovation labs. As a university, as part of my team and wider university, at any point in time, we engage probably with 250 employers, large and small. Some of those you will see at the bottom, whether it's through student internships, knowledge exchange projects, or whether it's apprenticeships and so on. The Innovation Enterprise Zone gives you as a business access to the skills development support. So thinking of the CPD, our researchers and students and experts, we have hundreds of researchers and academic experts in topics like robotics and automation, like life sciences, like smart cities, intelligent transport, which we'll talk about today. The interesting part about Staffordshire University is that in combination with the business leadership management, the digital engineering and creative side, we believe that we have the right mix of support that we can offer you through our funding programs, which you've heard of this week, and you will also today, and also through the co-location on a campus, because we just invested in incubation offices and the hatchery. And again, all this is part of the Innovation Enterprise Zone. So what we see, the support that you can access, it's a range of offers in prototyping, in digital, in startups, advanced materials, the transport and Internet of Things. We developing the CPD and apprenticeships, and we have a startup. So, but this is what you probably see through the offer that we presented. But beneath that, as part of this wider ecosystem that we're developing, which is interconnections between our research, our expertise, the facilities about the incubator, when you are based on a campus at the heart of the innovation and research with academics, with students and graduates, backed by some of the funding and grants opportunities. This works as a interconnected offer for your business, where you have dedicated knowledge exchange team that takes you through each step of the journey from hello until you win the submission and grant, and until you introduce your product into the market. We have invested in technicians and some of the dedicated team who can help you to submit some of the applications. So you can see the projects are almost on a tip of the iceberg, which you can see, but beneath that there are vast resource and expertise that is available to you as a business when you are partnered with the Staffordshire University. But today, as mentioned in the title, I will give you some overview about the latest project which is available to Staffordshire SMEs, which is the Connected and Intelligent Mobility Innovation Accelerator. It's a project which launched very recently, just last couple of weeks, and we are very exciting because it's part of the local industrial strategy. It's heavily promoted, and it's one of the priorities within the national industrial strategy under the Future of Mobility Grand Challenge. So exciting time. So let me take you through some background. So if you see these pictures, you know, it's to highlight the pace of change where we're coming, and this is quite interesting from Department from Transport, where in 1900 you've seen everything was you know, the London buses were horse-drawn still at the beginning of 1901. Now 14 years later, or 13 years later, you can see that it's all motorized. So if you think Henry Ford, what his quote is, if I would ask people what they want, they would say faster horses. Of course, that's not the case. It was automobiles and the engine that pushed the innovation, and you can see within just over a decade with the pace of change, and what we've seen with digital and smart devices and smartphones and broadband and introduction of 4G and now the 5G. Everything is moving quickly, and it's this pace of change that provides new opportunities for companies to move forward. So just some of the background information. So what is intelligent mobility? Now, there is a lot on the internet that you can research. Many organizations, including our own government and their consultants and Transport Catapult, they have their definitions. But in broad, it's about connecting people, places, and services. It's end-to-end journey. We are looking at the infrastructure. We're looking at the experience, and it's doing it in the most effective way, which is safe and it's sustainable. So Transport Catapult has a good summary as well. It's a smarter, greener, and more efficient movement of people and goods around the world. It's the sector and opportunity which they predict to grow around 900 billion by 2025. So it's quite an exciting market, and there is lots of opportunities for companies. And something that stood out as well for me when going through some of the background from Automotive Council, when they said the key is the interconnections between the range of different industries and technologies, from vehicle manufacturing, sensors, we're looking at systems, digital data, and so on, weaving with logistics. And this is something that we as a Staffordshire University, we are proud of that we can offer, because we, through our departments of engineering, electronics, creative, digital, business school, and so on, we feel that we are very well positioned to help SMEs and companies nationally to develop new solutions for this exciting and growing market. I did mention that it's part of the Grand Challenge and at the national level. So it's about how we move people and goods around towns, cities, and countryside. And it is important that I put this in a bold, because it's towns, cities, and countryside. And it is about innovation, and it is about automation, and it's about experiences and efficiencies and end-to-end journeys that we can address. So vast opportunities to benefit from congestions and increasing traffic. We know that in terms of the miles per year traveled by cars, obviously now pandemic has impacted on it, but the trajectory was growing for the last decades. And that's from heavy goods vehicles, that's for the cars and so on, where we're looking to improve fuel efficiencies, road safety, carbon emissions. we want to predict the journeys, and we want to provide better experience. So there is lots of areas where have a potential for new products and services. In particular, where how we move people and goods, so transport and logistics. Infrastructure is an interesting one as well, where we look at the maximizing resources, the productivity and streamlining, whether it links to the data, utilizing the data, planning and optimizing the infrastructure and experience from end-to-end experience. So to give some ideas, I thought I'll present some of the opportunities where, as an SME, for example, thinking you partner with university, you could potentially look into develop new products if you're not already, or services. One of the first ones is data collection and then data management. So when we look at the data, there is over 200 transport-related data which you potentially could develop solutions for, from things that are moving, people, environment, freight, connections, consumption, security, and so on. So it's a vast opportunities where we have significant data sets on weather, scheduling, usage, real-time network, capacity of people, car parking, and so on. Intervened with Internet of Things assets, which also need a modeling, obviously security, passenger information systems is interesting, and autonomous vehicle as well. And everything is digitized. So as a business, I will later present some case studies. The market offers significant opportunities for new products. Some of it which we've seen already, because we have in-car infotainments. We've seen connectivity. Obviously, the sat-navs are one of the products that works to predict the journeys and better planning. Number plate recognition as well. If you think about the motorways and electronic tags as well, to reduce the congestions and make sure that the flow of the motorways is smooth. So all of this is sort of initial stages, and it's marketing development. Some of the interesting case studies, if you think about what else is there, we knew about that. So something that sort of caught my attention, some case studies is, for example, the Liverpool-based Red Ninja company, which is using intelligent mobility to create a smart transport system. And what they've done, they developed an algorithm called Live, which changes traffic lights along the vehicle's routes based on a combination of real-time and historical data. And what they're saying is it can save on average 3 minutes of the ambulance response times. You think in 3 minutes in accident emergency, ambulance can be life-saving. So it is interesting to put in a perspective. Think of the drones. So Cyberhawk on a top right, they developed a cloud-based software platform that converts data into management information. And what they're doing is they visually inspect areas like offshore where potentially people and humans could put them at risk. So that's quite good example of using the drones. Then you have the car parks where potentially you have plate recognition or other sort of IoT assets which can feed into your smartphone to check where on the car park potentially are parking bays available, so you're not going around the parking for 20 minutes looking for space. Or, for example, the Sainsbury's e-cargo bikes sort of delivery, which is electronic delivery so it's quite sustainable, moving them forward. Now, a couple examples in addition, when we look at the companies who, for example, designing technologies to ensure that self-driving vehicles are safe, and then they sort of interact with people and they recognize, so make sure that this is autonomous vehicles are safe. And obviously it's also social perception to make sure that people understand how they operate. Interesting company in Bristol when they're converting standard bikes into electric bikes, or the application for people with dementia to help them navigate and to go to hospital, for example. So quite interesting examples. When we look into develop new products, Department for Transport in particular has some good examples of what can be done in this sector, but it's all about the journeys, it's about cities and countrysides, about infrastructure, people, experiences, and how do we bring it together for the benefit. So when do when you're looking at, well, what could I access? You gave some examples. Well, what else is there? So this is just again, think of the whole city. Think of everything that we cover from end to end, whether it's electric bikes, your smartphones. Look at the buses, experiences. Look at the predictions, analytics, forward-looking. Look at the trains. Look at the air. Yeah, all of this is part of it from end-to-end journey. It's interesting that this market is growing. I'll put statistic at the bottom left for you in terms of what's the predicted market beyond 25, which is 1.4 trillion global market. So you can see it's significant. And with some examples I gave you, I'm sure you recognized that everything is moving at fast pace with the introduction of better internet connectivity, better capability in terms of data management, cloud, and so on. And in terms of the autonomous vehicle, again, this is significant market potential where, for example, if you're thinking each of us spends on average about 230 something hours just driving on average in between work and so on each year. So then is this something that autonomous pods could help us do? Is this something that, where the shopping, where the Amazon comes in? This is where the Amazon and Alibaba warehouses comes in as well, where you have robots moving goods around. So plenty of opportunities to explore ideas through, including augmented reality and some of the creative sides. So what we've done as a Staffordshire University, when I look at this market, I'm thinking, well, there's nothing yet available in Staffordshire that's dedicated for Staffordshire SMEs. So we successfully secured the project to work with 45 Stoke-on-Trent and Staffordshire Lab SMEs to help you develop new innovative products and services. You can have access to up to 12 months of fully funded support in collaboration with regional funds and an investment from the Staffordshire University, where you can have innovation consultant or consultants, because you can have one potentially for up to 12 months, or you can have two for 6 months and so on, where you potentially need a design student, a business school, and for example, digital. We can put together a little team to work with you, supervised and led by the academic. So we created a number of roles at the university to focus on this project and work with SMEs to help you innovate in intelligent mobility, so transport, logistics, and anything to movement of goods and people. You would have access to wider innovation labs. So we mentioned we have prototyping lab, we have an advanced materials lab, we have digital suits as part of the smart zone. So lots of exciting investments at the university. At the beginning, I mentioned that it's totaling about 11 million that you can have access to. Of course, because it's funded, it's subject to eligibility, and we need to work with particular sectors which are present and priorities in Staffordshire. In terms of the process, I will highlight that it's similar to what you've heard on other projects like Staffordshire Digital Innovation Partnerships or our Advanced Manufacturing Prototyping project, where we have initial inquiry. For example, if you get in touch with us, I can have a chat with you about your idea, what you're proposing. We have a simple expression of interest form, and if that's approved, you progress into full application, which then, if the project board approves, we can move straight into the recruitment of the consultant or consultants, which can be our students and graduates, to work with you, again, supervised by the academic. So again, this is a dedicated project for Staffordshire SMEs that you can access right now. It's already live, so we will hope to see you and speak with you in very near future. But if you are not an SME in Staffordshire, or if you're SME outside in Cheshire, Derbyshire, or if you're a large company, I did say that I will cover some of the national funds, and in particular, I think one that's really relevant to innovation is Innovate UK, who is part of the UK ARI, so UK Research and Innovation. So who are Innovate UK? So it's the UK's innovation agency. It's the part of UK ARI, as I mentioned, and what they do, Innovate UK invest in collaborative R&D between likes of university and companies. They stimulate knowledge transfer partnerships, which is one of the particular products that I will highlight in next few slides. They fund feasibility studies as well. So there is in any point in time, I just had a look, for example, yesterday, there's 26 competitions for companies to have a look into, and it's in a wide sectors. So again, digital, whether it's ceramics, biosciences, electronics, digital industries, you know, it's very wide. So it's worth having a look. Where we come into as a university, these competitions are business-led, but depending on the scope of the project and a particular competition, you can partner with the university where we have expertise that we can transfer to you and utilize some of the sort of innovation facilities and research that we have at university for the benefit of you as a company. So I mentioned one of the products from the Innovate UK, which is knowledge transfer partnerships. At the university, we have a number of these running, and we've done many in the past decade. It's Europe's leading program, helping businesses to improve your competitiveness, wealth, so bottom line profits, to stimulate your product line. And it's a partnership between the business, university, and the graduate, where we place and hire the graduate together, placed in your company 100%, supervised and led by some of our research and experts for 1 to 3 years, where you have dedicated academic or academics working with you. Now, this project, the interesting part is it's part funded 67% for SMEs and large companies 50%. It has high success rates. At any point in time, there is about 600 to 800 projects running. Is the most successful projects that sort of Innovate UK has been running, and it's one of those that the university is very closely involved. So I'm happy to have a conversation with anyone who is interested in Innovate UK and KTPs or other funding competition in that sense. So as part of some of the funding, if you are not interested in either of the projects, or you're thinking, okay, our is more business as usual vacancy or a need, the university has on campus recruitment agency Unitemps, and we provide student and graduate temporary permanent internships and placements for SMEs and large companies, from a couple hours of work to permanent positions. Obviously, we have access to over 10,000 candidates through our student and graduate databases. We offer 360-degree recruitment service. So all of that is part of this ecosystem, and it's almost depending on your needs. Me and my team, we can find out what's the best channel to help you to get either product or service or fulfill your skills needs. If you are a startup, we have the leading Staffordshire program running at the university, BInspired. So if you're thinking of starting a business, you're based in Staffordshire, whether you're a student, graduate, or anyone based in Staffordshire, you can access this dedicated program which offers guidance and support, mentoring, networking opportunities, and also some grants. The BInspired has very, very high success rates in terms of the business survival. The project helped companies create over 5 million of turnover, over 500 of jobs in the last since the projects are starting. So definitely something worth chatting to us as well if you're aspirational entrepreneur. And just to summarize the Innovation Enterprise Zone, so I touched on intelligent mobility, which is a dedicated project for SMEs in Staffordshire, but we have the overarching wrapping support from all kinds of areas, whether it's researchers, whether it's R&D labs, whether it's dedicated sort of business development team who can help you write bids and submit bids in partnership with the Staffordshire University to likes of Innovate UK or other funders. We have dedicated programs for SMEs in advanced materials and manufacturing, for prototyping. We have dedicated incubation space and hatchery for startups, CPD programs, and we also have student and graduate vacancies fulfilling through the Unitemps. So all this is working part of the ecosystem where we almost see it as interconnected links between infrastructure, between our research, between the students, and between some of the funding that we have at the university. So I'm sure that if you haven't found anything today or this week, by all means, contact us on employers@staffs.ac.uk. we have a range of opportunities available. Even if you're thinking, oh, is my idea or project or proposal relevant, get in touch, and I will certainly, or if not me, one of my team, have an initial no obligation discussion with you, and we will try to help you to navigate you through the funding, through the projects, through everything, to make sure that the journey to your success and introduction to products and services into market is painless. As part of our contributions and leadership into innovation and knowledge exchange with working with businesses, you can find our events, whether past or current, planned on our events pages, and you can also watch past webinars on demand as you need. What I will do now, I will open this to questions, and if there is any, I'll answer best I can. So I'll give it 2 minutes. Thank you all, and I'll just give it a minute for questions. Okay, so the first one is I'm Stafford-based SME, and I've heard about the prototyping and manufacturing project, and also about today's intelligent mobility. Can I be on 2 projects at the same time? The answer is yes. Potentially, you could be benefiting from 2, even more projects. We do have a number of companies we work with that are on Staffordshire Digital Innovation Partnerships, and they also are now benefiting, or will be benefiting, from advanced manufacturing. So it's the same. Me and my team will have a discussion with you, and then we will see which is the best avenue for your products and services. So yes, by all means. The next one is okay. So how long does it take from the expression of interest to the having student graduate project live? The answer is depends. We can turn it around from our end within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, if needed, even quicker. What I would say is, because you need to submit the expression of interest and the full application, it's also a ball in your corner to say how responsive you are and what the questions are from there. So again, I would say 2-3 weeks in general, and then obviously we move to recruitment of the students, graduates, or the best person for the roles, which again, as part of the recruitment process, we do together, but it can take a couple of weeks time. But because we have Unitems on campus, then they can help with recruitment at the same time. So then one more question. So, okay, so I think I just answered this. The question is, would Unitems help us to find the right candidate for the projects, or if needed? Absolutely. The Unitems will help you to find the right candidates. We can help you to look at your CVs. We have access to all of the schools at the university, whether it's engineering and so on. So Unitems will offer you end-to-end service. So by all means, get in touch with us, and I'm sure we can help. Okay, I think this was the last question. Thank you all for joining us today. I do hope you found it useful and perhaps inspirational at the same time, to see where you can tap into some opportunities in this exciting market, and how can Staffordshire University work with you and to help you grow and innovate at the same time through the provision I highlighted before, through our innovation enterprise zone ecosystem, through our research and expertise and facilities. So again, have a great day, everyone, and thanks again, and hope to speak with you and see you soon. Bye-bye.